position and wait for my go.
Hi, welcome students to your week 5 tutorial sessions. Okay, so week 5 we are going to learn about layout, and then if you look into your lecture sessions, there are some basic principles that you are going to apply when you're creating your layout. Okay, so for this tutorial sessions, we're going to apply those basic principles and into our body of work. So we're going to create a two spread layout, and then from this spread layout, I want you guys to create the layout according to the tutorial, and we will look into our finished outcome, which is the layout. Okay, so I want you guys to power on your Adobe Illustrator, and then we can start going with this tutorial session. Okay, so first of all, to create our two pages layout, if you look into your project brief requirement, the open size is A3, and then the close size is A4. Okay, so we must set up our document first before we start to making our design. Okay, so in order to set up your document, create a new. Okay, so in the new document, we click on print. Okay, so if you view all presets, you can select there is an A3. Okay, set our orientations to landscape. Okay, so it will become two sides, and then we're going to use centimeters for us easy to identify, and then we're going to set up the bleed to 0.5. okay, 0.5 cm for all. Okay, the bleed is the trim area where we going where the printers are going to cut out during the process of making the magazine. Okay, so that whenever the cutting are done, it will look nicely finish the edge. Okay, so the edge does not looks like there is empty spaces. Okay, so we set the bleed to 0.5 all around, and then we look at color mode CMYK, and then since it is going to be print outcome, okay, is set on 300. Okay, and then click create. Okay, so you see the red area, that is the bleed area. Okay, so this is our pages for Adobe Illustrator, and then we're going to set up the midpoint for our document. Okay, for setting up the midpoint for our document, so without further ado, don't forget to save your file first. Okay, save as. Okay, you can save as a week 5 as a 2 pages spread, right? And then click save. Okay, so we have saved our file. So we're going to set the midpoint of our document. So the easiest way to make a midpoint, okay, is by using guide. So you can hit on Ctrl R to open your guides, or you can over here, okay, and click on show guides. Okay, guides. Okay, guides, show grid guides and so on. Okay, show ruler, sorry, not show guides but show ruler, which is this one. Show, okay, height ruler, or ruler, which is here, show ruler. Okay, or you can Ctrl R, the easiest way, and we can drag your guides from here. Okay, so if you look into our point, should be the width is 42. So by right, if you divide 42 by 2, one side each, it should be 21. Okay, so we can drag the guide from this ruler over here. Okay, drag the guides anywhere. Okay, so now the guide is locked. We need to unlock the guide to use it. Okay, So the guides, unlock guide, okay, or control alternate semicolon. Okay, so once you click that, okay, so if you look over here, you can go to your properties. Okay, whenever you make the changes towards the guide, okay, you see the axis, the x-axis is changing. Okay, what you can do is that either you can type this one to 21 pixel and enter, so it will be right in the middle. Okay, so once you already set up to 21 pixels, so equal size of 21 pixels here, 21 measurement cm over here, 21 cm over there. Once you already make the changes accordingly, you can lock your guides, okay, or control alternate semicolon in order to lock your guides, so your guides are not going to anywhere. So from here we know that this is the midpoint of your document. Okay, so we're going to make some calculation to make sure we have the center line for this the left side of the pages. Okay, so just now we lock our guides. Okay, so to unlock, you get control alternate and semicolon, or you can click over here, which is guides unlock or lock guides. Okay, so if we move it over here, you will see that, okay, 21 divided by 2 should be 10.5. okay, so that should be the midpoint, and then once we already done that, control alternate semicolon again to lock your guide. So we can position this box right in the middle of the area, or we can separate this half and half as well. Okay, depends on the design decision. Since I don't want to do that, I just maintain it as is. Okay, and by right, everything should look for now, and then we start to put our content on the left side. Okay, so we will starting to create the layout for our left side. Okay, so for our left side, you required some images that you need to download it for Open Learning, and then inside the file as well, you will have a document, okay, a text that we're going to apply in our document as well. Okay, so first of all, we're just going to create some layouts. Okay, so with the layout, we're going to get started. Okay, so first of all, we're just going to use some boxes. Okay, so I'm just going to use a black area. Okay, so black area. Alright, so this will be for our image, okay, a picture, and that should be we're going to create another layout over here, still maintaining the black, but this time around we're going to cover the entire from left to right. Okay, so that would be the first layout, and then maybe we can create some header to make sure it is consistent along the way. Then maybe we can create some using lines. Okay, I'm going to use registration. Okay, so registration meaning it is a pure black color that is suitable for, especially for publication. Okay, so see how I'm creating the lines from here until the bleed. Okay, so whenever the printer trim this one later, it will not be seen. Okay, so I'm just going to create some lines. Selected the line. Alright, so some boxes as well. Okay, whenever I'm using a black color, I always apply registration as a black color, since this is pure black. Okay, so whenever it's print out later, it will turn black instead of gray. Okay, so that would be layouts for the header. So we can create a footer, okay, for the pages. Okay, so I'm just going to use, maybe this one I'm not going to use the entire lines, but I'm just going to make sure it is something like that. Okay, so and one box over here. Alright, so somewhere in the middle over there. Okay, so just going to make some space for the alright, so for these boxes. Alright, so okay, so now I having a hard time putting this box in the middle, so I'm just going to make some calculation and then put some guides on top of it. Okay, so first of all, if you open your Microsoft Word, okay, the text that I have given to you, okay, so we can start with okay, what is like to be your solo travelers. So maybe this one we want to a sentence case, they want to make adjustment in Adobe Photoshop, in Microsoft Word. Then you can copy and paste this one. Okay, so since I just want the title, so I can use a type tool and make boxes just to measure out. Okay, make sure I have a little bit of space. Okay, paste my title over there, and then I can make adjustment towards the sizes and the sizes of the text. Okay, so I'm just going to make adjustment, select here, and then highlight the points, and then you can make adjustment. Okay, something like that. Okay, so maybe I just want to separate this one and this. Okay, so this one I want it to be a capital letter, and then change these typefaces to much more better interesting type. So I'm just going to maintain my React variable concepts. Okay, from there I can start to make adjustment. Maybe I can make a bold. Okay, so which one is much more suitable? Okay, so it looks like interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to play around with a character. Okay, sorry, not Pathfinder, but rather than a character, this one. Okay, so I can just going to semi-bold, italic. Right, so semi-bold, bold condense. Okay, this one look interesting, so I'm just going to make some adjustments towards the size of the content. Okay, alright, and then maybe this one as well, I can reduce the size until it gets okay, so until you get something like that. Okay, or maybe I can just separate this thing twice. Okay, so I want you guys to make adjustment accordingly towards your type. Okay, so for the content for this area, you can get from the Microsoft Words. Okay, so I already highlighted. Okay, for example, this one, you can just copy and paste and apply the content. Okay, using type tool, make some measurement of the boxes. Okay, and then make sure your size is around 11. Make sure it's regular, it's not bold. Alright, so you can just paste it over there. Okay, make sure it is not all caps, so easy for us to read on the content. Okay, so we can separate this content into a few paragraph. Okay, so you have a paragraph, or you can increase the leading size. Okay, so you can increase the leading size to make sure they have some sort of breathable content. Okay, so it looks better. Right, so putting content into your layout. Okay, putting content to your layout, so I put the leading is in 23, and then the font size is on 11. Okay, so there will be area for this particular content. Okay, so the good thing about Illustrator is that you can make several columns, and instead of creating a lot of type tools, okay, so you can have a big chunks of content and then separate it into a several column. Okay, so I'm going to make that over here by choosing this text using type tool. Okay, so instead of putting a very big columns, a very big text over there, so I just make a smaller one over there. Okay, paste it, change the text color to white, and then set the leading to auto. Okay, so since this text is quite big, I'm just make it smaller a little bit to 10. Okay, and then set the paragraph to justify with left aligned to make sure everything is okay. Maybe the text is quite cramped, so I'm just going to increase the leading a little bit to 15, and then okay. So in order for you guys to make a columns without creating a lot of these using type tools, so you see the plus over there, so click on this plus and then create another columns. Okay, still we have more contents going on. Click the plus, create another column. Okay, and then I'm going to increase my leading to give some breathable content towards all my content over there. Okay, so I'm just going to increase the size of the fonts so it gives a better readability, and then adjust my content accordingly. Right, so from here you can make some adjustments, okay, and then separate it into several other columns. Okay, so instead of you creating all these individual type tools, you can have one big chunk, and then you can organize it accordingly by using this. So this is connected into one particular type. Okay, and then for the footer, we can do the same thing as well, where we can separate both of the text, but with just using one lines of text. For example, I'm just going to copy and paste for this one using type tools. Okay, make some boxes, fill in the content. Okay, so you notice over there we have a problem with just make it large, so you can make some adjustment. From there you can make your another boxes, so instead of you creating two type tool still maintaining one line, so you just make some adjustment, and then you can create your footer accordingly. Alright, so still one line, so instead of you creating a lot of using type tools, a lot of type tools hard for you to control the text, so you can just make connections in between, so still maintaining your text. Okay, so you have make adjustment towards your footer. Okay, so now you already know how you want to control your type tools and make several column with type tools. Okay, and then you can move to different locations accordingly. Okay, so for the image over here, what we can do is that we can do a masking of the image, so it will fit this box nicely. So if you look into the folder that I have given to you, okay, so we can use one of the folder. So I'm going to place the file, okay, find back the image that I have been given to you. Okay, so I'm just going to click on this blonde solo. Okay, so this is a link file, so just make sure the link is checked, please. Okay, so the features in Adobe CC is that I can make a box accordingly. Okay, like that, and it will place an image of a girl. Okay, so but still we have not masked it nicely. So what you can do is align this box. Okay, you can. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure this girl are in the image like that. Okay, and then to mask the photo, okay, select the image, arrange send to back, and select both of the image and the box by holding your shift, right click, make clipping mask. Okay, so that's how you want to make masking on the photos. Okay, so with that, we're going to do some finishing up towards this layout over here by putting some numbering, just by using I'm just going to put number 2. Make sure it is center aligned. Okay, so you can match this type according to the box, change the color, increase the font size, okay, to appropriately so it looks like a numbering. Okay, so lastly what we're going to do is we are going to get some header over here, and then we're going to type using 12. Okay, female solo traveler. Okay, so we're going to put this over here, and then we're going to make it a capital letter. Okay, so place it nicely using a right aligned. Okay, so you can place your header there. Okay, so there you go, how you want to make a layout using Adobe Illustrator. Alright, so there you have it. You were able to make a layout for your left pages. What I want you guys to do, using the basic principles that I have taught you guys, and then using the basic skills that you have able to get by creating the layout on the left, I want you guys to create the layout on the right, which is here, using the images that have been given to you. Okay, save your file, and then save another one as a PDF, and then I want you guys to submit the PDF document inside your Open Learning. Alright, and then I'll see you guys in the next week tutorial.